Do you live in a world filled with corporate data? Are you plagued by siloed departments? Are your lackluster growth strategies demolishing your chances for success? Are you held captive by the evil menace, Lord Lack? Lack of time, lack of strategy, and lack of the most important and powerful tool in your superhero tool belt, knowledge. Never fear, HubHeroes. Get ready to don your cape and mask, move into action, and become the Hub Hero your organization needs. Tune in each week to join the League of Extraordinary Inbound Heroes as we help you educate, empower, and execute. HubHeroes, it's time to unite and activate your powers.
All right, so let me set this up a little bit. Chad's going to be showing some stuff on his screen. We're going to be having a conversation without a screen being shared as well. But today, we want to talk about something that's, it's happened a little bit ago. Well, I got to be careful because alpha and beta
and
happened
Omega
a little bit ago. I don't know. And Omega. Alpha, beta, and omega have happened a while ago, but that doesn't mean that everybody that's listening or watching this actually has seen it, been able to pay attention to it, or has it in their portal. Potentially, I don't know if it's rolled out completely. And that is the idea that now under not automation, believe it, you can still go to automation and you can see workflows, but under the Breeze tab in your HubSpot navigation, and then going into Breeze Studio. Because by the way, if you just click on the Breeze navigation, you don't see workflows. You see overview, Breeze Studio, context, knowledge vaults,
which
Breeze Marketplace.
Context.
Boy.
Boy, howdy.
But if you go into Breeze Studio, you quickly see that once you're in Breeze Studio, that there is a workflows tab that you can start to interact with. And here's, I'll give you a little interesting tidbit of info that shocked the crap out of me. Is I was doing a AI RevOps hug with the team at Profoundly and Clement and all those folks over there. And I was actually working in regular workflows and asking Breeze Assistant to build a workflow. What's fun is it didn't actually build it in the old builder. It built it in the new builder, which was like a happy accident during a live training / event. But it's a sign that HubSpot must be saying, hey, it's time to move your brain, Breeze Assistant, to this area when things are asked for. So, Chad, talk me through, and maybe Max, where are you guys at with this? Are you brand new with it? Have you been using it a little bit? Where does your brain go? Let's start the conversation there, and then I'll kick in some thoughts.
I haven't touched it, but I'm excited to touch it.
Yeah.
I've been in there, and as you would always expect, I've tested and built things and found some new workflow actions that only exist within this Buildinator. There are various other other things that you can do. They've increased the flexibility of the tool. There's search action for searching for a record. They're working on, I think at some point, I don't think it's ready yet, but search multiple records to return multiple instead of just a single, which could be cool for like looping purposes. Like, let's say a meeting thing happens and you get all the contacts and do something to every contact related to the meeting, where the meeting is the trigger, right? That could be a really cool thing. There's tons of really great stuff that they're working on in here. I've played with it a bit. It goes hand in hand with agents, but I think part of the reason that they're reskinning the workflow tool to work with this is, like, you remember how now properties have like the documentation tab?
Yep. Yep.
So you can have a description, describe each enumerative option if it's a drop down or a multi checkbox or whatever, and data agent instruction section.
Yeah,
I think workflow actions needed that a little bit behind the scenes, and like, you know, allowing the build a workflow builder with Breeze to tell it what to automate or do. I think that maybe needed a little bit of additional metadata around the structure to allow the AI to properly be building things out. And I think this is the culmination of that over time, trying to like just use AI to build in the old way with the old flow and the old UI. I think that turned into this thing. So I think that's how we got where we're at. I think maybe someday this UI may go into the old place and they might migrate everything. But for now, they're two separate things.
If I put a stake in the ground again, July 6th, 2026, I feel like this overtakes the workflows tool.
It supersedes.
I fundamentally believe that there are some things that are happening in here that are just like, and I said this in the green room before we even got started. I've seen more because I'm part of a Breeze Studio private beta Slack channel, and so I get the kind of the hat tip to like, we just added this feature, we just added this feature, we just added this trigger, we added this trigger, we added these three triggers. And so I've seen more happen in the last 6 weeks in this builder than I think I have in the last 6 months of the actual workflows builder. And so again, always trying to pay attention to those signals or signs of like where HubSpot is headed. And if you think about it too, there's some things where like, let's say for instance, if I'm gonna do a trigger in old workflows or new workflows, right? Things like segment membership change, property value change, record created, form submitted, run manually, run on schedule. If you have the right feature or the right hub, all of these are kind of normal HubSpot triggers, although the run on a schedule is very interesting because it's new in the new one and it doesn't seem to be limited by probably anything pro, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's in starter, but pro and going on. Here's the thing though, there's this idea of app triggers. So I watched a video where they literally were starting as Google Sheets as like the trigger to the thing that somebody's going to do in HubSpot. Now, I want everybody to think about that because in this world where context is everything and we're trying to get everything to be in a place, they're also making a system where the thing doesn't have to be in the place for the thing to do the thing that it has to do in the place that it doesn't live. You can rewind that and listen to it 5 times and try to figure out if I just made any sense or not. But the difference in like, if you go through popular and then you go through HubSpot and then you go through apps in this actual builder, when you go see it, you'll see there's just some fundamental differences of things that you can like, listen, front and center is like playbook log. User updated association, quote, countersigned event. Like, all right, so I'll shut up. Chad or Max, maybe. Wait,
Max. Did you say
what
user
questions?
Updated association?
User updated association is a trigger you can do.
Oh, they're totally going to replace workflows with this thing.
Like,
because they're building in weird stuff that the other one couldn't handle, and like that.
Well, dude. So here, I'll even keep going. So, buyer intent saved view changed. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
think
all
how granular that is.
Stuff. Right.
Yeah. So
all those
Max,
triggers can fire workflows on contacts or companies.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy when you start to look in here, the things that are like. It's almost like somebody said, how do we allow agents to be triggered and or do anything humanly possible inside of HubSpot?
I mean, there's Google Sheet triggers too, which they did exist before, but other app triggers are coming in. And then there's like the standard stuff, catch a webhook and that kind of stuff will be able to trigger this. But at the moment, it's they haven't added all of those things. So some of the things still only exist in the old one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But some of the things do exist here, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Max, where's your brain right now? I'm curious because you're just kind of
excited to see the thing. I'm excited to see the thing, but I also think like, and admittedly, I've been told about this before, and the way I walked away from that conversation was like, oh, I'm gonna have to completely rethink or rewire my brain around how I think workflows work or how automation in general works, because like I'm very like my brain is very hardwired into this, like, you know, object gets dropped into the top of this thing and it bounces through all these different branches and things happen to it, right? And like my brain is wired to like think of workflows that way, and like that's what helps me, you know, be able to like think a bunch of different steps ahead or like immediately know if something's impossible and like all that kind of stuff, because like I have this mental model, right, which is served me well up until this point. And from what I understand, which is pretty minimum, but even what I've understand so far, that mental model ain't gonna work anymore. I don't think. I mean, it might.
It's pretty similar.
It might.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah. But
you'll find a lot of familiarity here.
That's good. But I think that model's serving me a framework of what's possible. Probably isn't going to apply as much as it is before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As a HubSpot object falls through the little Plinko board. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a little different.
Yeah, I think so. I think that foundation and thinking of your understanding as a foundation serves you well.
I get that. I just don't want it to be a limiting factor.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's the thing. And that's what I'm afraid
ladies
of.
and gentlemen.
Well, there's new boundaries out there, and all of us people who've like bounced around in the old workflows tool to find out whatever the limits are and when do I need to use a custom coded action versus when do I not.
Correct.
We're gonna have to re-explore when do I have to do it custom.
Yep.
And I think part of that is the reskinning helps. What would you like to automate with Breeze box do more better, right? Because of the extra metadata and functionality and understanding that they're giving the Breeze Assistant the ability to know what can workflows do at the moment, and a framework to keep that updated as the tool continues to update.
And let me dive into that for a second, because by the way, in the old workflows tool, if you wanted to use Breeze, it felt like you couldn't really use Breeze, meaning Breeze Assistant that dropped down in the sidebar. But you could actually like open up Breeze and then go into a workflow and the sidebar would stay there. Okay, that's a little janky, but it was a workaround. In this new one, there's literally front and right middle panel. There is a collaborate with assistant. So like it's assist. I'll say it. I don't mean it in any sort of way other than just the way that I know how to communicate it is it's like assistant first, right? Like we're stamping this in here. People can have a conversation. While they're having a conversation, the things can be built. You will have to click less. You can talk more. And so I think there's a whole set of, and I love that, Max, I don't want it to be limiting, right? I don't want there to be limiting the beliefs to what this can do based on the foundation that I understand of where we've been, because I want to go where I need to go to provide the thing that I need to provide moving forward. And so I think that this mindset of coming into this new tool, conversationally working with an assistant, having a historical foundation, but being able to just lean into, Max, you said curiosity, right? Curious like a kitten. Lean into curiosity and lean into like, is it possible? Is it possible? And Chad, I want to lean into something you said. Not only is it when you have to build something custom, AKA custom code, but when is it something you should build an agent? Right? Yep. When does an agent get tagged in here versus custom code get tagged in here versus there's already something that's built out of the box that never even existed before because HubSpot is being like super dope in this area. And so there's this little trifecta of like understanding of like what to do or tag in as you're building new things, which I've sat here probably about 2 weeks ago going, and the only reason it's not done, because dang gone, if this isn't going to be an undertaking, But after being in business for 4 years and using HubSpot since 2012, I look at this and I go, how can I reimagine my entire business? And how can I just set up from the beginning of somebody interacting with me to the beginning of them being a customer? Like what has to happen in this new Breeze world, in this new studio, in this new workflow system, in the ability to build agents? Like, how can I use HubSpot to make my life and my customers' lives and employees' lives easier? Because now I feel like, and I won't even get started on another tool that's headed down the road that we'll talk about in the future, but I've been handed a set of tools. Yeah. Teamwork. I've been handed a set of tools that are just, they should be blowing people's minds, and we should be thinking what parts of our business should be refactoring. Chad, you want to show people under the hood, or do you have a question?
See it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Max wants
I haven't looked at it yet. I know I needed to be handheld by the two of you to do it.
All right. Yeah, you remember like that one time we finally got you to use Codex?
Yeah, you guys
your whole life changed.
It's ridiculous.
On his video game.
You guys, we could do a whole episode just on the game. It's nuts.
All right. So this is the area. This is we're getting a lot of studios now, funny enough. We got Marketing Studio, Breeze Studio. I'm sure we'll have more studios. It's like, a couple years ago it was workspaces, right? Sales workspace, customer success workspace. Yeah. Now it's studios. And man, the portals, we got to talk about those at some point. Like the customer success portal, like where you're able to put up all that kind of crazy. There's so much, they're shipping so much stuff. They're shipping faster and faster. The AI gets better. They're shipping faster. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Breeze Studio really does also pull pretty strongly from context, which is something we need to talk about in another episode.
Next episode, let's talk about context.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Because they've updated it with custom context for the whole portal and for you as a user as well. Yep. That you can upload like specific knowledge vault chunks. Now, not that I'm necessarily going to get my sales team to have their AI write a personal brief or whatever on what's cool about them. But if they did, it'd be like even better, Yeah. Anyway, then you have intro, agents, workflows, assistants, inbox. Needs attention is new. Like if you have Breeze agents that are doing things that you want to get your team sign off on, you can see like record update approvals that show up here. So super easy for somebody to find all the things that they need to approve. The agents, you can have a bunch, different ones. The workflows, this looks like the workflow builder area. Well, it is. It's just filtered by new workflow style only. Just like if y'all remember forms, you have old form, new form, but they all went into the same spot. If you go to regular old workflows, this workflow that I created is here. This update unnamed workflow beta. That's the one that's in the Automation Studio workflow technology business. Okay. So like this one is a smush together. This one is just the new boys, right? The new kid on the block.
New versus legacy kind of like forms. Yeah. I mean, this is replacing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Now, check this out. This is really cool. Like, I think everybody has access to this. For a while, it was invite only. You can create agents in and of themselves. Assistants are going to be, I heard word on the block is migrated into projects is a thing.
Yep. So I'll just say that I think I saw real world documentation that assistants will be sunsetting. Yes, and that's because we now have projects inside of Breeze Assistant, which, by the way, I love. Again, during the AI ROPS hug, I literally was showing them how you could build a project that is an featured image generation machine in Breeze. Anyway, not why we're here, but yes, you are correct. It is being Assistant is being sunset. Thank God, because by the way, I won't have to answer What's the difference between agent and assistant anymore? Because that question was the bane of my existence.
Or what's the difference between assistant and custom assistant?
Yeah. Oh, God.
That also was a pain because custom assistant couldn't. Anyway, yeah, that was a pain. Okay, so then this is also another layer of what would you like to automate? Like, for example, what if you have an agent like the handoff agent, right, for your CSMs? Now, this is like one of those stock agents that I don't think you can. Let me see if I can edit the agent. Let's see, go back and configure.
Yeah.
Yep. The agents. Oh, you can modify it now. Before, you used to not be able to modify these instructions on these agents. Now they're fully customizable. Now this comes from a template. It pulls this open and says, hey, I want to improve the agent's instructions and do something different. And really all you're doing is just working with Breeze to prompt the prompt better. Yep. And then it writes a Mobeta prompt, which is what I was kind of like manually doing before. But now they just lead you down this where Breeze in the sidebar is helping you prompt the Breeze agent so that the prompt makes sense for a good structure, desired output, blah, 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 blah things, right?
Yeah. What? And hang on to your blah, blah, blah and pause for a second. Like, I want everybody to realize historically, I would be working with ChatGPT or Claude to educate it on what HubSpot was, to have it help me create better prompts, because that's how much I didn't believe in Breeze Assistant, by the way. Not that we're here to talk about Breeze, but I was using another tool to get the things to set up things like customer success agent and prospecting agent. Now, no, work with Breeze.
Yeah.
It
knows
dope.
about HubSpot the best.
Oh my God. Like, it just has so much context.
The tool.
It's stupid.
It's better than anything for understanding what HubSpot does, how it works, and it has a very deep understanding of the knowledge base. Like, I love sometimes when I have to ask it something that one of my teammates asked, and it legitimately gives me zoomed in screenshots with red lines on what they need to click on or something. It's crazy. It's really good. Anyway, this guy, if you want to automate something, let's say like generate a CS handoff brief automatically when a new deal closes one, right? So this is going to be the prompt that this would give. It's an auto prompt. And, it's asking for a couple of things. If you send it will build.
Before you send. Yeah. So what I would suggest people do is they look at some of these auto prompts.
Yep.
And maybe even take some of these auto prompts and copy and paste them to a doc so that you can then copy and paste them into Breeze or copy and paste them anywhere you want. Be like, hey, can you break down these auto prompts to what makes them amazing? Because by the way, at some point, Chad, somebody's going to be like, I want to make my own agent. Well, if you've deciphered the code of what HubSpot is saying the best way to do auto prompts for the agent builder, and you know how to then communicate or conversate to build your own, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, break the building blocks apart before you go to build the thing you're going to build. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the agent creator too also has like give it natural language as to what you want, and it puts out those good structured desired output type things with that Breeze is really good at working with, right? So it is really good at that. Now you can, again, use your functionality here, generate your brief, do your thing, and give it the sender. And let's just do that and see what it spits out. So this is gonna go ahead and work on that. And then additionally, I will dive into the workflow UI in another tab while this is cooking. Okay. So it's working on the trigger, working in the sales pipeline. It's going to basically load the workflows tool. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you use the HubSpot agent CLI, if you install it on your computer, it's the new, most recent like AI assistant connection from HubSpot. And it includes, if I'm not mistaken, the workflows create and update tool. Now, it's a little bit of a foot gun, because your Claude doesn't always know, or your chat doesn't always know exactly how HubSpot workflows are structured. So it needs to look up how other things are built, because it has to rip and replace the whole workflow in one shot, right? Which is kind of crazy. But you can legit
hold up. You gotta back up a second, because I can't let it go. A foot gun?
Yeah, I was just saying foot gun's crazy.
It's a term that people like. It's like handing somebody a gun that's pointed at their foot.
Oh, okay.
So you can shoot yourself in the foot. It's called a foot gun. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because like, imagine if you get one comma wrong or one thing, if you have to rip and replace the entire workflow JSON and you get something wrong because AI didn't double check itself or whatever, or hallucinated something, then all of a sudden your workflow's busted. And it can turn on and off workflows too, so you got to be real careful. But anyway, we'll let that thing cook in the background and then just enter this unnamed workflow. Now, this is starting to look kind of like Marketing Studio Canvas with workflow things on it, if that makes sense. Like, Marketing Studio has the big old honker box in the middle, and then you can just drop things on there.
Oh, this is what I wanted. I wanted them to change the workflows UI to be Marketing Studio, and they did it.
The grid tech, right?
Oh.
Now, this is, popular triggers, right? You have HubSpot triggers, manual, schedule, playbook. This is the user updated association. These are all the contact and company buyer intent signals. So if you're using Breeze to monitor any given company, like high value target prospects, companies, they look for people starting and ending jobs. It's got document views. I mean, man, the amount of junk they added as triggers for quotes is insane, which is really cool with Revenue Hub.
Yeah, this is the replacement to the workflows tool.
Yeah, junk in the coolest way
junk
possible.
In the best possible way. Yeah,
junk in the trunk.
I mean junk. Yeah, it's that's got a quote dumpy.
You're saying this thing has. You're saying this thing has hips, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's got some hips, bro. Yeah. Let's go.
This sucker's going sideways quick. Yeah. So back to technology.
Even Google Sheets, like you got row added or updated is a trigger, which is cool. Like, I mean,
can it have multiple triggers in one workflow?
At the moment, I believe it's just the one.
What happens if you drag another one on?
About that, but you don't drag them. There's no driggity drags, right? So let's say we're just gonna run.
I bet there will be.
Yeah, I bet there will be, or like multiple entry points could definitely be a thing. So let's say we're going to run this manually, and then we have actions, and there's branches, there's agents. These are all the popular things. Now edit record and then find one record. This is like search, basically. Think about using the search API. I don't know if you noticed that. But
we just lost Max. I think he passed out.
including, look at this, campaign. You can find a campaign, conversation, invoice. Like, I mean, there's tons of stuff in here, including users, survey responses. And then there's all sorts of different things. Now, there are things that are like, hey, we have some things that we're trying to find, like they're not able at the moment to find on edooms or dates, I think, for search action.
And for some of you listening versus watching, though, there was coming soon tags next to those things that Chad was like, right now you can't, but you can see the roadmap is we will be able to.
Including the workflow action to create record or task are both also coming soon. But you can do renewal quotes, delete records, intent signal tracking. So a lot of what you already could do. Also, send a webhook is unavailable, but custom code is available. And this Breeze tool in the new workflow builder can help you build a CCA, a custom coded action, right? Yeah. So it'll do all the things. And by the way, I pulled up the Breeze Assistant in this workflow, and just for those on audio, it showed me the previous thread. So I could start a new thread to work in this workflow, but we could actually go look at what it built and let's see what it did. So let's go back to workflows and refresh. Oh, it didn't give me a thing.
I don't think it built it yet.
He said it's ready to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It said it's ready to finish it. Yeah.
They'll pretty much, while you're finishing that, they'll pretty much, Breeze will pretty much always end in a thing where it's asking you for the final yes to take the action that you want to take. So just be prepared for that. But I think that's super smart because it's almost like project mode. Or plan mode. Sorry, I don't know why I said project. Plan mode. It's almost like a light plan mode, meaning it's like giving you the ability to say, no, actually, can you add this, this, and this? And then let's build this thing.
Yep. But yeah, more or less, I mean, all of this different stuff is here. Now, there's other things inside the workflow builder, and we'll go look at this as soon as it's done. It said, here's what I did. Go ahead. It had a question first. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and create it. Okay. Now run a custom agent. So you can choose from your custom agents that you've built inside the workflow. And then you could also add an agentic step, which is like, basically it's a step and a desired output that doesn't live as an agent, but only lives inside this workflow is my understanding.
The custom code action without coding it.
Kinda. I mean, it's not quite. It doesn't really do necessarily like Python code parsing of data or analysis. Like it'll use the LLM and whatever potential tools the LLM might have access to. These don't necessarily, this agentic step doesn't necessarily have access to tons of tools, I don't think. Like it might have some basic LLM tools that are built into the model, right? And when I say tools, just like I'm sure most people are familiar, but tools are like, hey, the AI brain can do things, but it needs the ability to better properly perform math. It uses a math tool for that, believe it or not, right? Because LLMs are inherently like garbage at math. Like they just are really bad at math natively, right? So they use math tools or different things like that. And you know, some models have obviously grown past that. There's also the other different agents that are HubSpot agents, right? So like, let's say you have the customer agent, prospecting agent, or data agent. So you can pull those in as well. So let's say we're like going to run the custom agent and I have like this deal upkeep agent and you would be able to pull in the deal from the workflow if there was. So, you know, again, I haven't grabbed it, but this more data would allow you to pull in if you had a deal that was the deal trigger, right? And then it would run your workflow. And then based on your outputs, you could branch, you could add delays. This is just, it feels very fast to build things in this workflow builder. I'm just doing a lot of left clicking here to build this out, right? Whereas I feel like there's like 6 clicks every time I wanted to add a block. Before,
and Chad, just grab one of those blocks and just kind of drag it around.
Yeah, stop.
Yep. See, I knew. I got it. See, I wanted you to do that for Max because I wanted him to see that you can like move these all around and just kind of map them out. And now that you did this, let me just mention this too because I want people to realize, Max, have you ever wished like, man, in the old workflows tool, man, I wish I just had some like settings to how this is, or man, this thing is a monster. I wish I could clean it up a little bit. Like Chad, go back to the one that you were kind of working on real quick. And in the bottom right-ish area of this, there is So go to the left a little bit. There's, by the way, if you're watching this, you know what I just did. If you're listening to this, sorry, go watch it. But there's literally like some settings area, like canvas settings. But then also there's a little pen that says tidy up canvas. And you see what just happened when he hit that button? Like, so you can like move stuff around and do whatever, like while you're working, like get stuff out of your way and drag it over here. And then
I love that it shows the ID. That's so sick.
Yeah, that's an option, right? But yes, I do like that. And this is very relevant. Like, let's say you're working with your LLM on this. You're like, hey, step 3 or ID 3. And then you tell it that you're talking about that specific branch and it'll know. Yeah. Right.
Like,
not that like
Chad, you just I hope everybody rewinds that part. Like, What Chad means is, by the way, the other thing too, if you're watching this or listening to this, please stop typing and get something like Whisperflow or some other version of this, because what Chad just basically said would sound like this. Hey, Breeze, in branch number 1, we're working with ID 6. Can you please do XYZ ABC so that we can have the output of blah, blah, blah? Like they're breadcrumbs. Yes, it's breadcrumbs. If you have the
HubSpot agent CLI and you turn on the foot guns, then you're good.
My gosh. Of course we had to use it twice. Well, 3 times because I asked about it. Anyway.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. So yeah, it's like that's, basically it. Now, interestingly enough, it created this workflow in the old UI.
Interesting. Wow.
So I guess it chooses depending. I've only ever had it build them in the new one, but it legit built out the whole thing and then sending a Slack notification to a specific channel in our company or whatever.
I wonder if it knows, well, in this one, there's a thing that we haven't enabled in the new one yet. So we've got to build it in the old one. I'll be glad again when they just have it where it can kind of migrate into one. Yeah. We'll see if that's how it ends up going, but, Max, because holy crap, we're already, running out of time. Where does your brain go? What, just talk me through Max's first impression of the new agent's workflow area.
I mean, it's clear it's the new workflows tool. This is what everyone's going to be using, and it does everything that the old one does. So it's clear to see what role this thing is playing. And I get why they did it this way. It's like, to make such a fundamental, massive change to this, you can't just have it be the same exact tool and migrate everybody. You gotta make something net new that can still do everything. It's
Chad, stay there for a second.
I'm just really happy.
Yeah,
I'm just really happy because I always wanted that Canvas thing to be the way workflows worked. That hidden gem of triggering a workflow when someone updates an association is
pretty cool.
I think that might be the news of the century right there.
Well, you've always been able to do it via with a private app. What used to be a private app, the webhooks, used to be able to fire an event on updated associations.
Yeah, but as soon as you got to build a fucking private app to do any of this stuff,
you're done.
Yeah. Right, what are the options it gives you, by the way, on that? When you do it, and that's a trigger.
Yeah, that's a trigger.
So you go in and you make a trigger on
oops, wrong one.
Oopsie poopsie.
I'm not used to going to the Breeze studio. Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah.
Let's see, workflow, and then we'll do a trigger on this one and give Max the news of the century. Let's see. And we have user updated association only if object is associated to a specific one. Interesting. Like a specific company, or if it's up to any deal, let's see, is associated to, these are specific records. I don't know how to switch the object type.
Look at that load more. Whoa. That just keeps on going.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. You can do it to a specific record.
It's yes.
Work table changed. I don't know what that means.
Uh-oh.
Do they have created association?
That's a CRM change event. I don't even know exactly what work table changed means. I don't know about created association. Record created, property value chain, or let's say it's contact, and I wonder if they have associated records. No, they don't. There is in the index views now, you can pull associations into filters, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So here's what's fun too. I want to say 2 things before we get the heck out of here. Can you go back to the main just screen? One, if you're ever curious if anything can be done or not done in here, just go ahead and
which main screen, George?
Go hit the X on that left-hand side piece.
Yep.
hit choose your trigger. Well, maybe that's because you already chose a trigger.
Yeah,
but when you're getting started, there is a search functionality, like in the choose action. So I'm going to be that guy who said this since 2013, search before scroll. So like if you want to know association or what can happen with associations, if you type in association there, it's going to literally give you all the, well, let's add another letter other than just the 3, like maybe an O, because, like association. And then boom, you're going to see what's coming soon, what's available now. All the different things will show up in here. The other thing that you started to do, Chad, that I want people to know is because in historical workflows, you always hit the plus sign to create a new thing. Go into one that you already had kind of built out.
Like this one.
Hover over a middle line, Chad, like right after the trigger, and you're like, oh, crap, man, I need to add a thing over in the right-hand side of the actual. Okay, people, I want you to realize you can hit the plus sign in the middle of a line and be like, hey, I actually want to add an action, branch, or delay, like right here. So you don't have to like go to the plus sign to add a thing. Like you can just start adding it wherever you want as long as you're hovering over the line when you're building.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they have value equals branches here. Oh, they do. So they've merged, for example, remember how you used to have value equal branches and filter branches? They were like different things. You had to use one or the other.
We're going to say yes, like we know what you're talking about right now, Chad.
Sure. In regular workflows, like these guys, you had branch, and then you had property action or output. This could reference a previous action. And then these could only reference properties on the object that was enrolled and its associations, I think. Right. And so they were for different things, kind of. Well, they're smushed together now, if I'm not mistaken. So you have previous actions like success or failure. Like if this was a custom coded action and you had some sort of value that it output, you could choose, oh, if it's this value, do that. But then on this group, also double check the deal. And if the deal has this property as that or whatever, then you could kind of smush together both.
Let's say what you just said, but in 2026 too, because and again, I know it's your brain. You're used to saying custom code, but if agent output is X, if agent output is Y, then do this or that. Like that's the thing that I hope people are going to understand and really lean into is like this whole conversation we're having today is to enable you to understand that there is a workflow builder that is, yes, you can go build probably anything in the very near future that you would have built in the old workflows tool. But the way that it's being built is for agents to also come along for the ride and be able to do the things that once were impossible to do. Go out into the internet, agent, and research this thing and give me a score for this information, that information, this information. And if this information is X, go to branch 1. If it's go to branch 2. And if it goes to branch 1, then enroll this agent to do this agent thing to get this output to do that. Like, guys, the handoffs, the relay races, agent relay races that you could create could be in. This is why I said I almost want to re-envision everything from the beginning to the end of my business of like, what could we be doing in this tool in HubSpot now?
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, here, add agentic step, do something and output true or false in a property, right? Or a property output. And then this agentic step will give you something that you can now branch on based on whatever it determined. Instead of having to use a custom coded action, which I say custom coded action because I've just been doing it for so long, because that's how I was able to like get done what I needed to done. But what you're saying, George, is awesome. And like this never was possible in one branch before. I could do actions, success or failure, or previous actions thing. And then also property filters in one filter, like one branch. That's pretty cool. You used to have to use 2 separate branches and layer them or stuff like that if you ever needed that. So very, very, very cool stuff.
Chad, what's the one thing you would tell people they need to do after this episode?
Next time you need to build a workflow, give it a whirl in here just for the sake of getting your feet wet. Don't be afraid of new things. Give it a whirl.
Yeah, be curious. Max, one thing you tell the listeners.
Oh, one thing.
Yep.
One thing.
Get in there and explore it, dude. I mean, I can't even imagine what we would find if we actually spent like a decent amount of time going through each one of like the options for like triggers and these new actions and everything. And like, dude, I don't know. It's I'm still like I don't want to say I'm getting like butterflies in my stomach, but just the ability to just work with it in the canvas and not that like dude, like remember when we would build workflows and like you would add, you know, just enough branches to make like one thing shoot 1,000 feet over to like the side, and you'd have to play this like scroll game and everything and have like no control over how that stuff sits. Like it's a big sigh of relief knowing that like we're coming out of that on the we're getting onto the other side of that stuff. You know what I mean? So
dude, you know what's gonna be hilarious, Max, is the first time you have one like beautifully laid out the way you want, and someone comes in and clicks that paintbrush.
Oh god, and just
like
nukes it. Yeah,
to the side.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh shoot, that's why permissions is an important thing. So hey, ladies and gentlemen, take a day, take a weekend, do whatever you got to do, but it really is time to be curious. It's time to reimagine the systems and processes and the experiences that you can provide. While you're doing that, remember next week we're going to talk about context and that in the Breeze Studio. Super admins, by the way, there's a lot for you with the whole Breeze Assistant, Breeze Studio, like super admins. We got to polish up on that stuff. But hey, while you're waiting for the next episode, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble human. And remember to do some happy HubSpotting along the way. Okay, Hub Heroes, we've reached the end of another episode. Will Lord Lack continue to loom over the community, or will we be able to defeat him in the next episode of the Hub Heroes Podcast? Make sure you tune in and find out in the next episode. Make sure you head over to thehubheroes.com to get the latest episodes and become part of the League of Heroes. FYI, if you're part of the League of Heroes, you'll get the show notes right in your inbox, and they come with some hidden power-up potential as well. Make sure you share this podcast with a friend, leave a review if you like what you're listening to, and use the hashtag HubHeroes Podcast on any of the socials and let us know what strategy conversation you'd like to listen into next. Until next time, when we meet and combine our forces, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble human, and of course, always be looking for a way to be someone's